Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now.
So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything. He taped everything and taped everybody.
How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly?
Jay-Z steps into the spotlight. No filter, no holding back, ready to pull back the curtain on the real story between him and Diddy. Every handshake, every deal, every unspoken tension. He's laying it all bare, showing a side the world rarely sees. It's raw, it's honest, and it cuts deeper than the headlines, revealing alliances, rivalries, and the power plays that shaped their journey. Nothing sugar-coated, nothing staged, just the truth, delivered with the confidence and authority only Jay-Z can command. The tension, the strategy, the unspoken history. It all comes alive in this revealing glimpse, exposing what's been behind closed doors all along.
We're in the park. I'm wondering where we're going. And as we're going towards the boathouse, I look in the distance and it's this man in all black. He's in all black. And he turns and it looked like he had the white collar. I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be positive, but it looked like he had the white collar because Puff said, "Yo, Gene, stay right here." And I stayed right there and he kept on walking. So when Puff get directly to the dude, he gets down on his knees. When he gets down on his knees, this man takes something and it seemed like it had smoke in it and he started doing it around Puff. And then he went back and forth. And then he went up and down with it, sideways with it, then back around him. And then he put it down. And then he put his hand on Puff's head, and I guess he started, saying something. I don't even really know what he said, but I couldn't tell what he said. You understand what I'm saying? Long story short, I see Puff reach into this case. And when he reached into this case, he came out and you could see something white in his hand. I didn't know it was a bird. I didn't know what it was at first, but he threw it up in the air. And when he threw it in the air, the came straight back down like it was a brick and said, "Pow," on the concrete. And I was like, oh, that was a dove. That was a bird.
What's fueling the buzz now is the notion that many around him are keeping a wary eye on their backs, uneasy with Diddy still in the game and potentially resurfacing after they've stepped away. In scenarios like this, one name inevitably ignites speculation: Jay-Z. Everyone's left wondering who might be caught in the crosshairs of his unresolved tensions next, as the drama quietly simmers beneath the surface.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
Puffy basically, or I keep saying Puffy, Diddy gets to get out, be with his family. They didn't really railroad him like they did R. Kelly.
Isn't that interesting how I've been saying that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since 2022, I've been talking about acceptable monsters. Hand-selected, hand-picked. Tell me something. How does R. Kelly's music get snatched off the radio and Diddy's doesn't?
So why is Jay-Z's name coming up now? Jaguar Wright insists the story runs much deeper than it seems, pointing to a critical turning point between him and Diddy, one that could redefine the entire hip-hop scene. Beyond the headlines and glitz, she reveals a quiet yet powerful clash unfolding, a battle between loyalty and truth, between protecting a legacy and facing reality without compromise, with stakes higher than anyone realizes.
Told us that Jay-Z won't be able to stay silent about his connection to Diddy. And baby, she wasn't lying, because Jaguar Wright was just on Piers Morgan exposing the out of Jay-Z. Jaguar Wright was calling out Jay-Z for his silence, saying that now he's going to have no choice but to talk because he has connections with Diddy, R. Kelly, Epstein, and Harvey Weinstein. She also said that she has victims that have video footage of these freak-offs and what they do to people, and she said that she saw what Jay-Z and Beyonce were allegedly doing to people. Jaguar Wright even said that Jay-Z is the one that allegedly set up R. Kelly because he knew everything that he was doing and he was doing the same shit. And she said that Jay-Z is the one that funded surviving R. Kelly because his best friend for years is Dream Hampton. And baby, she wasn't lying. Jay-Z and Dream Hampton have been friends for years.
The pressure on Diddy seems to be mounting even behind the scenes, and if he wants to weather the storm, he might drag others into the spotlight alongside him, with Jay-Z widely rumored to be one of those names. Jaguar Wright hints at an even darker, hidden chapter tied to Diddy's alleged extreme moves, suggesting that when it finally emerges, it could send shockwaves through the industry stronger than anything revealed about him so far.
To write it all off as weird sex stuff. But it's another thing when you look at it for what, in my opinion, I believe it actually is.
And what is it?
Demonic, ritualistic behaviors, humiliation rituals, offerings to the devil.
We were just talking about that. Revelation 17, the mystery of Babylon. I don't think people really want to get into that when they talk about mystery Babylon and the abominations and the rituals, the sex rituals, the traffic to the traffic jam.
I mean, we all know the saying that they have out here, right? They say that the music industry, the film industry, Hollywood and all that is the devil's playground. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. What about you? Leave it in the comment section. Let's talk about it, but let's also continue.
The selling of your body, all that stuff, mystery of Babylon, y'all.
Like, I want y'all to really think about what they were talking about. See, everybody was, the spreading of bodily fluids from one person to another, using one person as a receptacle, and then taking it from that person's body and then putting it and smearing it all over like these.
To grasp how things reached this tipping point, you have to revisit the era when Jay-Z and Diddy ruled hip-hop not just as artists, but as architects of an entire culture. With Roc Nation and Bad Boy, they built colossal empires that redefined music, style, and success for a generation. Their events were legendary, and their alliance seemed unbreakable. Yet, as Jaguar Wright points out, their bond wasn't held together by friendship alone. It was fortified by hidden truths, secrets so potent they could dismantle everything if ever revealed.
Could have definitely been like an undercover CIA agent like Jeffrey Epstein. I watched that in a video or something. And it's possible that he came in the game young, because I heard that a story of Gene Deal saying that Diddy had to go meet with the feds. He don't know what it was about, and it was in his earlier part of his career. I wonder if he could have been working with him for all these years. Who knows? Let's talk about it in the comments, but we're going to continue.
SEX magic. Sure enough. Yeah, Jay-Z, yeah, he wears the Aleister Crowley t-shirts.
Well, I got dragged.
He had a line of his own clothing. Like, I want you to really think about this.
I got dragged for bringing that to people's attention. They were like, oh yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist because he said. I'm like, no, that's what he wore. And he was with Abramovich. Like, yeah, y'all gotta, who you hang with is who you are.
I'm still trying to understand how people want to sit there and talk about me, and he's sitting there frontal lobe to frontal lobe with a known witch, and people don't question.
And the funny thing is
do as thou wilt. Yeah.
The funny thing is when you talk about witches, and I'm still not going to go in on this this raccoon of uh, content creator who decided to, shout you out one minute and then try to drag you for going on a platform and saying, you said about witchcraft takes one to know one, and he just automatic, you got to, you a witch. So the thing is that's another smear campaign, your credibility, and then they go after your
You want
what
to
is
know
it?
what's
I don't
funny?
want to say I don't want to say religiosity. What is it?
What is what?
No, I'm saying they go after your credibility.
Wright even suggested that Diddy's best shot at shielding himself could be to lay everything on the table, using the truth as leverage to strike a deal, and expose the hidden connections that have long kept powerful figures untouchable.
Jaguar Wright tried telling us about Jay-Z and Diddy, and nobody believed her. I remember her very first interview years ago saying how Diddy was a trafficker, and everybody thought she was crazy and everybody ridiculed everything she had to say. Well, now does she seem crazy? What I love about Jaguar Wright is watching her time and time again get vindicated on things that she says. Like, it was so crazy back then that nobody wanted to believe it, but now that we are seeing things come to light, how crazy is it actually? I've always been the type that can't stand when people are called crazy because the things that they are saying are hard for a person to believe. This doesn't make a person crazy, and these people wouldn't be saying these things for no reason. We watch it happen time and time again with these situations, just like Cat Williams, just like Michael Jackson, just like Aaron Carter, and even Kanye. I really feel like in 2024, everybody has woken up and seen that all of these people saying this throughout the years, they're not crazy. They're not saying all of this for no reason, and it's something that I've known for years. Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now. She's even talked about Jay-Z's alleged relationships with younger people in the past, such as Aaliyah, such as Foxy Brown, such as Rihanna, and even Beyonce.
Wright insists the real story that needs exposure involves a woman named Kathy Corona White, who she claims was allegedly linked to Jay-Z and reportedly expecting his child. According to Wright, Kathy passed away just a day after supposedly planning to speak out about their connection, a detail she believes is key to unraveling the hidden layers of silence that continue to shroud the industry.
She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think, and maybe he just had to clean it up?
Wright's claims take an even darker turn, suggesting that both Diddy and Jay-Z are fully aware of what happened to Kathy, and that Diddy could reveal the truth if he ever chose to cooperate with investigators. But the question remains, would he? Wright points to the earliest signs of tension, subtle yet telling moves like Jay-Z skipping a major Diddy event, only for Diddy to later return the favor. In a world where every gesture is scrutinized, those quiet snubs spoke volumes, revealing a growing distance behind the carefully maintained public smiles. Adding weight to the story, Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, hinted that far more was simmering beneath the surface than anyone had suspected.
What was interesting was that Jay-Z's camp basically put out a statement saying that Jay and Puff are not friends and they're not close at all or whatever else. Did you see the two of them interact a lot?
I seen them interact, but I wouldn't say they was close. I believe Puff felt they was close.
Oh.
But if you was a person on the outside looking in, like me and Uncle Paulie used to always talk about it, me and D-Rock used to talk about, yo, why Puff kind of like sucking Jay off so much? You know what I'm saying? Cause you'd be like, we done flew to 5 or 6, 7 different concerts that Jay-Z has. But Jay-Z is not at one of Puff's shows. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Rock brunch where Puff will break his neck to get to the brunch. But Jay-Z don't pop up at any of Puff parties. You know, now I can only speak up until 2012. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was breaking his neck. Like at the end of the day, in our mind, we say, yo, he ain't even invite Puff to his wedding. When he married Beyonce, Steve Stout and all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was kind of in his feelings, but once again.
Oh, Puff was upset he didn't get invited to the wedding?
Of course he was.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, we're security, so we're bottom on a tote pole. So he's not going to show you that it really affects him until you have a little conversation with him, or you say something, or you overhear something. But he didn't get invited to that, you know. Yeah, Jay came through every once in a while. Like if we was in a yacht in San Tropez or one of these places like that, Jay might ride up, you know what I'm saying? And it's more or less to show, yeah, I got a yacht too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm out here too. More or less than we're tight friends. I look at it as two people that's getting money because they did have some businesses together and we did have to go to some meetings together. And it was like, this is how far it goes, but we're not friends. You know what I'm saying? Like people ask me that all the time. I mean, Jay ain't really with Puff. It was no personal into it. It would be like if Ron Burgos is flying from LA on his jet, but Jay-Z just so happens to be going to New York too. We all end up on the jet flying back, those type of things, but nothing to go out his way. It's if we in a club, you might be downtown at bed or something like that. Jay-Z might be there. So they end up at the same table. You know what I'm saying? And it was times where I listen to the records now where Jay-Z said, yo, why should I drink Ciroc when why should I drink Grey Goose when Puff got Ciroc? This is something new that just started happening because I remember we almost got into a big altercation with Pecos and them because
With Sean Pecos?
yeah, because Puff was there and Jay and them was there and they had a bunch of Grey Goose bottles come to the table. And Puff felt like, yo, that was disrespectful. And he knocked over the Grey Goose bottles, you know what I'm saying?
Jaguar Wright has never allowed the conversation around Jay-Z and Diddy to disappear, repeatedly calling them out over the years and making striking comparisons that keep the industry talking. She claims that figures who later faced major public reckonings all shared one quiet link: Jay-Z arguing that he operated with calculated precision behind the scenes. According to Wright, while others absorbed the fallout, he maintained an untouchable public image, suggesting his real influence came from staying just beyond scrutiny while quietly shaping outcomes from the background.
Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened.
And that, according to Jaguar Wright, is precisely why she thinks Diddy could one day expose Jay-Z, because when the pressure peaks and survival takes precedence, the safest strategy for someone in his position might be to let the hidden truths do the talking. Next voice, next voice. Wright acknowledges that her claims may sound extreme to some, but she insists she has been raising these concerns for years, alleging that Jay-Z and Diddy sustained their grip on the industry through calculated influence and quiet pressure. According to her, they shaped careers and controlled narratives from behind the scenes, operating in ways that kept their power intact while remaining largely out of public scrutiny.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his addiction won't allow him. to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
Whether Jaguar Wright's claims hold weight or not, they've reignited one of hip-hop's most charged debates: how much truth lies hidden beneath fame, fortune, and silence. She isn't alone in scrutinizing the relationship between Diddy and Jay-Z. Oskino highlighted that the most striking aspect of Diddy's fall is how quickly those once close to him, especially Jay-Z, distanced themselves. He reminded audiences that these two were once equals, self-made moguls who rose from nothing to dominate the industry together. Yet when the tide turned against Diddy, Jay-Z appeared to step back instantly, moving swiftly to safeguard his own name, as if he had anticipated the storm long before anyone else. Next voice, next voice. Despite countless images showing them together at parties and industry events, Jay-Z began acting as if their connection was purely professional, keeping every mention of Diddy strictly transactional. According to Oskino, Jay's approach shifted to a cold, calculated stance, more like, "We crossed paths, nothing more." It wasn't about friendship, it was about survival. He understood that any public association with Diddy during the turmoil could drag his own name into controversy. Now, new claims suggest that Jay-Z's links to certain informants are also under scrutiny, with some alleging he may be quietly safeguarding himself by passing along information connected to Diddy.
I gotta read you guys this. It's funny. It's like they really want to corral everywhere I go and who I talk to and what I say. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I don't have it in here. I sent myself the wrong one. No, that was a long. Oh, but then there is this. Oh, did you see this? Have you seen this?
Oh.
Yeah. Jaguar Wright almost unalived by Diddy's hitman. Noah Jacob, TV. I shouted him out once before. I guess they paid you real good. You fake Christian piece of crap. Bearing false witness. You call yourself a Christian? Bearing false witness, you stupid little kid. Because if you think I'm not going to come after your platform, and if you think I'm not going to make sure that everybody goes to your platform and report you for the lies you told, with your AI evidence video that you put up.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what the video said? That number one, it said Diddy's hitman, but I thought Diddy and Jay-Z wasn't friends.
Puff Daddy's still Puff Daddy. He's not going to be able to do none of the stuff he was doing before, though, as far as business-wise.
Look, Puff Daddy and Jay-Z were considered peers at one point. Now, Jay-Z and Diddy are not talked about in the same
Jay-Z
sentence.
got the fuck away from that shit fast. Yo,
Jay-Z was like, yeah, I don't know him. I know him, but not like that.
Yo, the niggas got like 80 pictures together, all type of parties.
I know, of course they know each other.
Hov said, listen, I don't know. Hov said, Hov ain't going for Hov. I don't know, boy. We was together a couple times. I don't know, boy. I don't got nothing to do with that. Like,
Within the industry, Perez's past is well known. She previously cooperated with federal authorities in a high-profile case, a fact firmly on public record. For Oskino, it's puzzling how someone with that background could rise to a leadership role at Roc Nation under a figure whose image is built on street credibility. To many, it sparks serious questions about federal connections and behind-the-scenes oversight. Adding to the intrigue, Gandil claims that the situation surrounding Diddy runs far deeper than just him, pointing to a broader network operating beyond the public eye.
Well,
as far as Kanye West concerned,
here's the thing, right? Kanye, and I know some of the people around him, it's like Kanye can no longer do a lot of things he could do before.
Like what?
He can't tour in Europe. He can't tour in America. He has to go to like China, South Korea, like Brazil. There's only a few places in the world that'll book him. He can't even go into Australia. Like Australia said that the Hail Hitler song got him banned to even enter the country, even though his wife is Australian. He wasn't even trying to perform. They wouldn't even let him in the country. Listen, you start doing songs like Hail Hitler, you become a symbol of hatred to the world.
That's the worst. That's like one of the worst people you could ever try.
You know, I interviewed the dude that wrote that song, Dave Blunts. You know, the big...
Okay, what's that? Write this song?
Nah, well, he performed it though. I mean, it's still his song. But yeah, no, Dave Blunts wrote it. He also wrote the cousin song, the one about giving his cousin head. And I asked him, I'm like,
so who's this guy? Who's this guy that wrote the songs? Is it
Dave Blunts? He's like the 600-pound rapper.
Back to the comments you made earlier about these tapes, and I want you to give more clarity. So you believe they only got Puffy because they wanted these tapes. What do you think is on these tapes?
Bro, you got to realize you got people like Prince Harry. Prince Harry was at a Diddy party. You got some of the same Universal executives. Diddy made it cool for, I'm just gonna say it like this, man, whites to hang out with the hood dudes. Dude from the hood, he made it cool and safe for them to hang out with the white executives. They used them for that. They used them enough, whereas that now you got white executives doing Diddy-like parties. Remember the dude from, Frantic? The clothing line, the sports line? They was mad because they didn't get invites to his party because he was doing white parties, doing parties like Diddy. Now I ain't talking about the freak off party part of it, but I'm just saying he was doing those parties and everybody, there was rappers, or I think Stephen A. Smith said something about he was upset that he didn't get no invite. So it was those parties that everybody wanted to be at. So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything. He taped everything and taped everybody.
If these claims prove true and more high-profile figures start to fall, it could pave the way for Jay-Z and his wife to assert even greater control over the business side of the industry with less competition. Many speculate that Jay-Z may eventually face his own reckoning, though not anytime soon, given how insulated he is and how long it reportedly took to build a case against Diddy. Observers note that Jay has never hesitated to distance himself from allies when it served his interests, and if Diddy ever decides to speak openly, it could place Jay in serious jeopardy. Could all of this be part of a calculated move for ultimate power and control?